everyone. My name is Paula, and this is Room for Jesus. Many people grow up saying prayers. We say grace at meal times. We say a quick one in the car before we drive off. And we probably say one, at night when we're going to bed, or maybe in the morning when we're just waking up. Today I am going to suggest to you that we should have God a lot more involved in our personal lives. And I would go so far as to say that you should never leave home without praying. It's all too easy to just, say things off the top of your head or act in a way that's not really suitable. And if you want to have favor with God and men, like Jesus did, then you need to do a lot more praying. And I believe that you need prayer even more than sleep, actually. So, there were times in the Bible when Jesus prayed through the whole night, and that's because he had tough things to deal with. The tougher the thing is, the more you need to pray about it. But even if it's going to be a regular day, or you're expecting it to be a regular day, I would say still pray, because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what things will come up, and you're going to need wisdom for those things. So before you go to work, before you go to school, or before you go to any other kind of activity where you have to deal with people, then you should pray that God will give you wisdom. You can even pray that God will give you favor with people. These are things that you can pray about before you leave home every day. And then when we have things that are scheduled for say you have an interview coming up in 2 weeks, then you have 2 weeks to pray about it, don't you? Those interviews, whether you're the leader or whether you're going to be the listener, either way, you need to have that kind of wisdom and that kind of protection from using your mouth in the wrong way. There's a part of James that talks a lot about the tongue, how we use our tongue in such terrible ways all the time. And I will leave the scriptures. There's a lot of scriptures that I can quote, but I don't want to take up too much time from the video, so I'm going to leave the list of scriptures that go along with this in the description box, okay? So when you have these difficult situations, or you believe they're going to be difficult, you need to pray even more. Just remember what Jesus did. We're always going to take Jesus as our example. When he was facing the cross, he prayed even more. He prayed until there were great drops falling from his face. So I don't think any of us has prayed that hard ever. But if we have a difficult situation to face, then you need to pray, right? Okay? Now, not all the situations you face are difficult. Suppose you're going to church. Yeah, I would say don't go to church without praying for yourself either. Because church is a place where our enemy works even harder. Because that's the place. That's the Achilles heel, you might call it. That's the place where if he can get something wrong going on, he will be really happy. So when you're going to church, you think it's a safe place, but it's not really, it's not. Satan goes to church too. So make sure you pray for yourself. Pray for wisdom, like I said. Pray for favor with people. And pray that you will do things in a way that is pleasing to God, so that your behavior will be pleasing to God as well. Because even when you're doing stuff that's pleasing to God, sometimes people aren't pleased. But of course, pleasing God is more important than pleasing people. So we want our behavior to be first pleasing to God, And secondly, if we can have favor with man, then that would be good too. The other thing I want to mention is about your kids. Some of you have young kids, even very young kids. Don't let them go anywhere without praying. And don't just pray for them, pray with them so that they grow up learning how to do this. You know, they're going to some friend from school, they've been invited to a sleepover or something, and they should not go there without some heavy prayer. Okay? Don't let them go out of your house without prayer. And in fact, if you can, mostly let them bring their friends to your house rather than them going to the other person's house. But the thing is, we can't just stay home all the time either. So when we have to go out, we have to rely on this prayer thing. Don't leave home without it. Okay? Now, always remember what Jesus did. He was always going off by himself to pray. Even when the disciples were with him, he would go to a corner or something to pray by himself. So these are the things that we can do now to secure our safety, to secure, our ease of living. It's much easier to live if you're doing the right thing and things are going well. So make sure that you pray. Don't leave home without it. Okay, that's it for today. I will talk to you again next time. Thank you for being with me today, and God bless you.